Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky, Zeevil Twin.
Don't you see the poll? Don't you see the poll up in the corner? Why don't you vote for something?
Mike R did vote, so his one vote is going to carry the entire poll.
Yep. Mike R, you are a champion. You are the deciding vote for the fate of the corner.
This was the fairest and most fortified election in the Corner's history.
Absolutely, absolutely democratic to the maximum.
Moonshock.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for stopping by.
Terry Diamantis.
One man, one vote. Mike R is the man. He had the vote.
And this week's special guest, Kyller.
Mistakes were made, but hello, everyone.
Yes, they often are made on the part of our guests. Anyway, well, we'll start off this week's episode with a question that has plagued mankind for generations.
Oh, God.
Why would a man not want to date a trans woman?
I can't think of a single reason.
How do they not get this? It's a penis. The man's not interested in a penis. That is the deciding factor. That's all it is.
Yeah, as I keep saying, if you don't get my pecker hard, I cannot help you.
But even if they don't have a penis, like some of them have had it removed, a gaping wound where your penis once was is not a vagina. So that's also a fail on getting me to be romantically interested in you.
And you also have to remember, like you had said, it is your body considers it a wound, a gaping wound, and it will constantly try to heal itself. So these people have to have stents put in constantly to keep that open.
Yep.
Forever.
And one more thing. I bet you that a lot of these guys, were it not for the obvious psychological problems prone to this very unfortunate group, they would fuck a trans man because the trans man has a vagina.
See, I wouldn't fuck a trans man because most of them look somewhat masculine, and that's not the look that I'm interested in.
Yeah,
Riley Dennis. Riley Dennis.
Even if they have a vagina, if they've got like a hairy chest,
that's what I mean.
That's not working.
No. Yeah.
Well, strictly speaking, Moonshock, Riley is a trans woman because he was born a man.
And a lesbian trans woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, has anybody even heard? What the fuck is that guy even doing anymore? Is he still out there acting all fucking weird like usual, or is he actually?
Of course he is. He gets money to do that, so why wouldn't he?
And no, I will never call that motherfucker a he or a her or a she. That is a man, and he has no intention whatsoever of getting that dick cut off ever. So he is a man. I don't give a fuck what he says he is.
Something that I have thought about a lot over the last 10 years is this. Why would a man not want to date a trans woman?
Penis.
I see practically on a daily basis the hot stares of men as they scope a trans woman. Men can't stop themselves.
What kind of men are you talking about, dickhead?
Most amusing, perhaps, is the Western male. The Anglo-Saxon, particularly, Mediterranean types have a different take on life.
Which way, Western male?
So often, I have been sitting in a bar watching one of them, or sometimes in the same company. I've seen them practically salivating over a girl nearby, and then their reactions as one of their companions leans forward and murmurs something crass like, "You'll get more than you expect with that one, mate. It's a bloke." I'm sorry, we should have Terry read that one.
You'll get more than you expect with that one, mate. It's a bloke.
Thank you.
I felt the impact.
Instantly, from practically shaking with lust, a transformation occurs. The face screws up angrily. The man shakes his head. But why? The girl didn't change. She's as hot as she ever was. In fact, she hasn't even moved. She's still standing there, looking as drop-dead gorgeous as only a really hot trans woman
Now,
can.
Before you
Wait.
hold on, before you scroll down, Frosted, everyone take a look at that little picture that's cut right there. This guy's looking down and his bottom half is cut off. So, oh damn, if you scroll, it look like he's like just like sitting there. Is there somebody on their knees kind of pleasuring him like that?
This is the exact type of person who'd go on and on all day about how men shouldn't be so superficial, and yet for some reason, when there is an actual substantive issue at play, like whether or not they have a penis, suddenly that's not important at all. How they look. Has she got big tits?
Well,
This is the point that feminism has gotten to, where the feminist is saying, has she got big tits? Then why do you care?
but one thing Kiva Dam has pointed out in chat, and I don't think any of us did, is the whole uterus thing. Like, if you want to have a family, you can't have it with a trans woman if you're a man. Like, you will not get that trans woman pregnant, no matter how hard you try.
Now you have to find a trans man and get him pregnant.
But you
That's
can
right.
have babies, didn't you know?
Yeah.
It's just another thing that they are totally willing to ignore. It's another thing. These people don't care about babies. They don't think that babies are a substantive issue in a person's life, because they will go out of their way to make you think that it's just not important at all. That reproduction as a species is not important to the individual. This is why they don't care about abortion, and this is why they are totally willing to neglect the notion that a man and a woman have a child together, and that is something meaningful to a person.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's just transphobia. There's a legitimate reason why one might not wish to date any person. Lack of attraction or interest. We all respond to our inbuilt attractions, and we don't generally want to pursue romantically people who fall outside those. This is maybe a
How
form
about-
of...
How about anti-dick and butt syndrome? I know a few guys that's a turnoff for quite a few guys, is their anti-dick and butt syndrome.
And frankly, most of the trans people I've seen in real life, I don't find them attractive to begin with, even before I knew they were trans. It's like, no, thank you.
Most of it is just like the thumb people. You know what I mean? The people with thumb faces.
Oh, yes.
This is maybe a form of objectification, but everyone does it. It's hardwired into us. We evolved as tree-dwelling fruit eaters, so we discriminate. It's called choice, and everyone wants a ripe banana.
That
Well,
is just such a creepy way to describe it.
Yeah.
Maybe some of us want peaches.
She's got big tits.
But that was not the point of the question, which was why one would avoid dating a trans woman if one were attracted to her. Our drooling Anglo at the bar couldn't wait to get his sweaty paws on the toothsome delight before him, in her 6-inch heels and legs that went to the moon.
Oh, you keep me out of this, bitch.
What if
Toothsome?
what if they find penis unattractive?
Well, I was going to point out, I don't think it's the 6 inches on the heels that's the problem. It's the other 6 inches that the guy is objecting to.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, Jack. Every man wants to cross swords with another man, didn't you know?
No.
And look at all those teeth.
Yeah, very toothsome.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, our boy was attracted, all right. This is a whole other can of worms. It's about a man who finds a particular person attractive and interesting enough to want to have sex with, but will not do so because she has, or used to have, non-standard genitalia.
No, what?
Non-standard.
Oh, God.
What?
It's not non-standard
Where's the
genitalia, so I guess widescreen genitalia.
So if you're a biological man, do you actually have to put genitalia?
You cut out, Moon.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Here, let me rephrase that. Hello, my name is such and such, and then underneath there you have another subtitle that says standard, standard genitalia.
But, I looked it up, and toothsome just means sexy. It's a stupid word. I don't know why they didn't just say sexy, but that's what the word means.
They have to show off that English degree somehow.
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
mean, I mean, if this person's from England, then teeth are probably hard to find in good shape.
This is another thing that this type of person does, is that they try and use weasel words to avoid saying things. It's sort of like how in the abortion debate, when they refer to a fetus instead of it as a baby. They'll say fetus instead of baby. This person will say non-standard genitalia instead of penis. We all know what it is. Are you trying to say that the penis is no longer a penis because it's on a trans person? Because this is what it's physically called. This is the anatomical name for it.
It's called a man dick now, okay?
It's called a lady penis.
That there is pure transphobia, open and shut. Our man doesn't even want to buy someone whom he really would like to know physically, even a drink, because she's trans. Now it just reminds me of Dr. Tran. That is an irrational fear. That is an irrational fear of trans women, otherwise known as transphobia.
Okay, first of all, this person is forgetting the fact that if a straight guy goes to a straight bar, finds or sees a woman who just happens to be a man that still has a dick, takes her home, or thinking that he is a her, and then all of a sudden those pants goes down and this big old freaking floppy man dick is showing there. Any man who does that is going to be like, I will beat the living shit out of you if you don't get out of my house right now. He's not going to continue on saying, oh, you have a dick. All right. That's what I was looking for.
And it's not about phobia. It's about the betrayal, about being lied to.
Yes, that's exactly it. I mean, if something happened like that, I will beat the living crap out of that person if they don't get out of my house. Because I am not here to be swindled with I'm going to trick this guy. Look at this. I got a big old dick and you don't know that. No, fuck you. Get out of my house. I will kill you. Done.
There's an imagined bargain in which being a woman implies that one's genitalia, not normally exposed to view, must be of a certain order. But that reduces all women, not just trans women, to sex objects that are defined entirely by the nature and history of their genitalia.
What, they're not?
I just like that it says their genitalia. See the original with pictures here.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, you know what I'm expecting now is for a kindergarten cop to edit out the line where that kid says, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, so it doesn't offend anybody now.
I'm just going to say there's a reason it was called the crying game and not the great big grin game.
Put that dicky down.
Put the dicky down.
Besides, it's good for you to get mad every once in a while. Gets the blood moving, gets the heart pumping. And out loud.
This idea that having paid a woman sufficient attention or money for her to consent to have sex with him, a man has a right to expect her genitalia to be of a certain order, is a pernicious assumption, deeply damaging to all women.
But that's the way it has worked. This is the thing that women in general over centuries have programmed men. This is the way they've programmed men to think, because they go for the provider, the man who can take care of them and their children. So of course men are going to think their worth is in the attention and the resources and time they spend on her.
Well, I'll just say, if women didn't demand all these things before they'd have sex with a man, men wouldn't see them the way that they... Like, if you could just go up to a chick and say, want to bang? And she goes, yeah. Then people wouldn't be like, oh, I spent money on her, so she owes me. Like, there's a social understanding that is how you get women to open their legs effectively, is to spend time and money on them. That's like, what is the required process?
And what's more, even if we lived in a completely backwards world where you actually had to specify these things ahead of time, how are you going to go up to a woman and say, "Excuse me, I want to have sex with you. Do you have a penis?"
Um,
This is what leads to the increasing numbers of purely cosmetic labial removal surgeries, amongst other absurdities, and, in some benighted cultures, far worse. Goodness knows I'm no feminist, but mutilating oneself in such a way, in order to satisfy the expectations of others, seems to me to be absolutely outrageous.
You are not a feminist? Holy fucking shit. Do you even realize how dumb that makes you sound with this entire article? And then saying, I'm not a feminist? Bullshit.
I'm not a Well, no, this is. I think that they realize that this person realizes that the word feminist is poisoned now, and so that now they're trying to distance themselves from it to make themselves sound sane. But the fact is that they share 99.999% of ideological territory with feminists.
You know, Mike R does make a good point. Is this Riley Dennis with an alias?
Oh,
I think
it's on that level of stupid.
I think the real reason that they don't want to identify as a feminist is feminists claim to want equal rights. I mean, they don't. That's not what they want at all, but that's what they claim. This person is like, fuck equal rights. No, I want trans and gay and everything else to be on top.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm no feminist. Trust me.
If you don't want to be transphobic, you have to have a penis in your ass at all times.
No,
Many-
I imagine that would be like what it feels like after you have a hemorrhoid removed, for crux sake. No, thank you.
I don't know. I imagine it's how you feel after a Riley Dennis video.
Oh, you mean like you want to kill somebody?
I like Riley Dennis videos because they're so stupid, they're hilarious. I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
He just has such a goddamn punchable face.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
part of the appeal of the video. Is like, oh my god, you're a retard. Oh,
Yeah.
this is insanely stupid.
What do you think would happen to the nose if you punched it hard enough? Would it fly off like a piece of marble, like it would just kind of crack and just fly into space, or do you think it
would smash in like Play-Doh? It just go.
No. It would turn into It would turn into an innie and become a vagina.
Just remember, refrigerators are a human right.
Just remember, if you're not fucking my face vagina, you're transphobic.
Yes, and yes, Keeve, you are correct. His voice isn't like, he has that kind of voice that sound like this all the time.
And I should probably specify that we are not advocating for, well, at least I'm not advocating for violence against Riley Dennis.
Nope, I have the feeling that's going to happen all on its own.
Well, I will advocate for violence against Riley Dennis on the sole condition that you remember words are violence these days.
Yes.
So you go verbally abuse as much as you want.
I will say that the only person who abuses Riley Dennis is Riley Dennis's brain.
Mm-hmm.
That brain has done so much damage to Riley Dennis.
Yeah, that.
Well, I think Andy's surgeon. His surgeon has done a number on him too.
Yes. What did he do? Didn't he get his fucking Adam's apple shaved? Because it was way out there.
He had his whole face redone to be more feminine.
Where the fuck is he getting all this money?
From the videos and the articles and all the other bullshit. I think people pay him like tens of thousands of dollars to like give speeches at schools and like he's not poor.
To corrupt kids?
Yes.
Nice. Fucking assholes. That's another reason why I would never want to meet that guy in a dark corner. And
but if
not for anything sexual, so don't go that way.
That's right.
Nice save.
You heard it here, folks. Moonshock wants to bone Riley Dennis.
Fuck you.
He wants to fuck her face vagina.
It's not a her.
You're ruining it for him, Frosted. Don't call Riley a she. It's not sexy if it's a she.
Yeah.
Fine. If he doesn't want to be a man and he claims a woman, fine. I will go into the gray area and just call him an it. There, he is an
There you
it.
But if
From
women
dildo sales. That's right. He did do that. Oh, Keeve, don't even Riley plus Moon forever. Shut.
Look, don't worry, Moon. None of us is going to tell Garrett.
I know
Yeah.
it's me and Garrett forever. God, Garrett
Moon's
is
gonna
my
get
man.
Moon's gonna get spit roasted by Garrett and Riley.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're gonna make a capital H.
No, I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving
This
the
is
world.
why I love this stream.
It's gonna be the Devil's Triangle.
Jesus Christ.
But if women should not be measured by their genitalia, then why should trans women be so? Many have genital reconstruction surgery in order to feel more comfortable as women, and have sex as women. Are they then to be shunned as fakes or cheats because they used to have something that they went to very great lengths to change?
If they don't tell you that they're trans, yes, they should be shunned.
Yeah, that's kind of important when the relationship moves to that point. It's like, yeah, I've had some surgery down there and some things were removed and replaced. And that's kind of important for trust, for one thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to lie to me about something that freaking fundamental about yourself, what else are you lying to me about?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
exactly right.
while we're at it, why are people just so confident in saying that the reverse genitalia is somehow the opposite genitalia? I'm sorry, but if you take a dick, lob it off, and mess around with a person's internal organs, it does not magically become a vagina. That is not a vagina. That's just
No,
a
it's not.
mutilated cock. It's
Yes.
it's a big old mutilated dick. I'm sorry. Anatomy does not change just because you play Play-Doh with someone's dick and balls. It doesn't work that way.
The only way that could possibly work would be some sci-fi shit and genetic manipulation and clones and shit, and that brings up some other ethical questions.
Penile
You have your
origami.
you have your new body that is XX instead of XY. What do you do with the old one? Is that murder? What the hell?
Well, and that's also an argument too, Kylie, because it's like these people get all this shit done, but they are still genetically XX or XY, no matter depending on what side they're coming from. Nothing will ever change as far as their genetic code. They're going to have to be on the stupid fucking hormone forever. Because the second that they stop, their original shit's going to start manifesting itself again.
Well, and let me say, I have nothing but sympathy for the folks, or empathy, whichever one applies better, for the folks who have, actual gender dysphoria issues. I can't imagine being that uncomfortable in my skin that surgery and drugs seems like the only way to deal with it. That sounds like a horrible thing to have to deal with. But it does not change reality.
Well, that's also a reason why I hate Riley Dennis so much, because he has no intention whatsoever about going through with a full thing.
Yeah,
He just wants to virtue signal, call himself a fucking lesbian while pretending to be a woman with a gigantic big old hanging dick.
yeah, he's just extreme cross-dressing.
He trivializes the actual trauma that actual trans people go through, because they have a mental condition that needs to be treated at a very serious capacity, and you're not doing it any favors by telling them telling them this fantasy land bullshit.
But that's actually my big problem, is the sort of the trendiness of pretending to be trans. Is if I hear someone is trans, I think that means nothing. Like if I met Chaos Eve today, and I knew nothing about her, and she said, "Well, actually, I'm trans," I think, right, sure. And she's a legitimate trans woman. It's just that the word means nothing in 2021. So I would have just whatever, because it's gotten to that point. It's like it's the same with if I hear someone has PTSD, it's like, Oh, they used the wrong pronouns, didn't they? Who cares?
Or OCD. Oh, great! You learned self-diagnosis. OCD,
Yeah.
sure.
Or same thing with racist. I don't assume
Yeah.
that person must be a white supremacist. I'm immediately like, okay, are they an actual racist, or do you just not like them?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's not forget that if you're white, you were automatically racist.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
But,
thing. It's like if someone said, Frosted is a racist, and I'd be like, why? Because he's white. Like that would just be my default assumption. It's like, oh yeah, because he's white, right?
Mm.
Uh-huh. And
Got-
I know some people with actual PTSD, vets who went through some horrible shit while they were serving.
Yeah.
It trivializes their sacrifice for all of us.
And
It doesn't matter the country.
that's the big issue that I have with the whole movement is that they take things that would be very, very serious and then just turn them into nothing. Like if I hear someone's been raped, it's like, oh, what? They looked at you and you didn't like it. Yeah, toughen up. Whereas like an actual rape is a terrible thing. It's just that 99% of the people who say rape on the internet aren't referring to that.
Furthermore, this mindset can be lethal to trans women. Jennifer Lottie was killed because a U.S. Marine on shore leave called Joseph Pemberton, sounds British, discovered that she had a penis after he had taken his pleasure of her. Very much the same happened to Gwen Arajo.
Okay, taking his pleasure of her? What exactly did this thing do to this other guy?
I'm guessing a blowy.
Yeah. You do some fluffing, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, let's see what you got downstairs. Oh my god, dead.
Also, there is kind of a middle ground between sleeping with a trans person and killing them.
Yeah.
Bit of a gap.
Yeah, you can just not kill them, but also not have sex with them.
Whoa. Slow down. I need you to go through this step by step. How does this work?
He wants pictures too, by the way. Because see the original with pictures.
Well, it is the internet. I'm sure we can find you some pictures to illustrate the point, Terry.
Christian Science Monitor.
Oh
yes.
Frosted, do a Google search.
Safe search off.
The only legitimate reason for not dating any woman is that you're not attracted to her. That's fair enough. We all have triggers. We should try to be open and fair and to look beneath the surface, but attraction is instinctive.
Wrong.
Personally, I don't give a hoot if you don't like to date trans women, because it means you're
That's
a
why she wrote the article, because she doesn't care.
because it means you're a transphobe, and frankly, that makes you a piece of shit.
No, that makes you a piece of shit for being a fucking judgmental shithead like you are right now.
Also, transphobe is a stupid term.
Yes.
If she wants to call me a piece of shit, fine. I will let her. I don't mind.
But don't give us the crap about preferences or dating is about making babies. You know perfectly well that dating is not primarily about marriage, but about getting your cock serviced, and a trans woman is just as adept at that as any other woman, and possibly a good deal more so.
This fucker turned it up to 11 real quick.
Yeah, way to
Wait,
trivialize something that's about trust.
Dude.
So basically,
Can you-
don't
can
be
you-
transphobic because trans women know how to take a dick.
Yeah.
Wait, can you read that sentence again? My brain just sort of flashed white, and I lost like temporary consciousness.
You know perfectly well that dating is not primarily about marriage, but about getting your cock serviced, and a trans woman is just as adept at that as any other woman, and possibly a good deal more so.
No.
So this is just man hating, isn't it?
Yeah.
This whole article. This doesn't even have anything to do with trans people at all. This is just plain old-fashioned man hating.
Yeah, like straight man hating.
It's
Moonshock.
about establishing enough trust
Yes,
to be
Terry.
that vulnerable with one another. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Terry.
do you feel like an idiot now that you married son when you could have just gotten a blowjob from a trans woman?
No shit.
Yeah.
God damn. I'm gonna have to tell her about that in the morning. Like, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to separate because I could have had a woman with a dick, but
Yeah. It
I had
says
to
right
have a
here
natural
that
one.
it says right here they can take a dick better.
Yeah.
I
What more could you want?
I love my wife, and she gave me the best blowies.
Well,
And sometimes she put her dick in my butt.
I'm failing to see what some dude that now thinks that he's a fucking woman would be able to service my cock, possibly a good deal more. That ain't possible, and that ain't happening.
The fact is that you would jump into bed with any of the women on this page as long as you didn't know they were trans.
What is
Didn't
this
say they're
page?
giant dicks.
Oh, geez. That's a hyperlink, isn't it?
I demand that you follow that link. Come on.
I wonder if she just
That-
straight up
no.
linked to porn. Wouldn't that be funny if,
No,
if through all of this she just
Ooh!
That's a cutter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And we ain't talking
Yeah.
about the nation here either.
Yeah, what's a little yeah.
There's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
inherently that is a man face, but it looks like a fucking Photoshop man face on a fucking woman's body. But that guy is definitely a cutter.
Yeah. Well, some of those girls further down made the effort, and God bless them for it.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And no one I think it's fair to say that it's perfectly reasonable for a man who puts in the effort to resemble a woman to be passing, as the phrase goes. But
Yeah.
it's just, we're not complaining about that. We're just saying we don't want a dick involved if we think we're about to have sex with a woman.
yeah, they can seem hot at first, but once that brushes up against your leg, that erection's going away.
Yeah, and it's like I said before, I don't want a sword fight with no man. Sorry.
Everyone's calling them tuck jobs in the chat.
Well, the one gal had her tuck job was flawless, unless it was Photoshop.
Not a good pickup line, by the way, telling a woman that her tuck job is flawless.
Can't cook the tuck. Oh, that's a good one.
That's plain old transphobia, and there's no point in trying to deny it. You'd have delighted in their bodies, fucked them blue, and been happy to put that notch on your bedpost. But all because of a couple of ounces of meat, you would beat them to death instead.
You
There's-
fucking ain't right, I would.
Apparently there's no middle ground.
Nope, not one.
How do you fuck someone blue?
When meeting a trans person, you are either gonna fuck them or kill them. There's no other option.
So blue is the only color available. Like, I fucked them green, or I fucked them pink, or I fucked them purple.
Maybe they're talking about getting her breathless,
Ah, there you go.
giving her such a great time, it just takes her breath right out of her for long
Take
enough.
my
that she
breath
starts burning.
away.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, the next time somebody asks me how was my night last night, I fucked her blue.
Can you fuck her other colors? Can you fuck her green?
That's what I just said. Can you fuck someone green or fuck someone gray or purple?
I must have missed that.
Well, you can fuck someone kind of.
Fuck them polka dots.
Well, you can definitely fuck
but
someone
that's
brown.
that's a whole other kink there.
I fucked her all colors of the rainbow.
If you fuck
I
them
think-
black, is that racist?
Yeah. But, like, no, you can fuck them brown, and that's called anal.
And once a month you can fuck them red.
Oh,
also true.
Oh,
Can you fucking plaid?
Well, if you're going to do that,
Only in
clean up
Scotland.
right after because it'll itch if you leave.
I believe those are called sheep.
Not dating trans women because you're transphobic doesn't make you Adolf Hitler. You're missing
It
out
makes
on a
you
great
worse.
you're missing out on a great experience, something that might change your life.
No.
Is this a brochure?
Yeah, is this guy like trying to do some fucking motivational speaking or
no,
something?
I'm starting to suspect this is another trans person who wants a man to sleep with them.
It's like
Who just wants
trannies,
to get
try one
fucked.
today.
I get that. I get it. They want to be a woman in all ways, and they want a straight man to want them. But this is not the way you're going to accomplish your goal, my dear. I'm sorry, but lying and shaming does not turn most men on.
No. And this guy is just one of this kind of shit right here makes me even more polarized against those fucking people.
You can't shame a person into attraction. You cannot make someone like something
Oh.
that you don't inherently like.
Oh, this guy
not
begs
fun.
to differ.
You might even pass the love of your life by and never know it. But if you want to be transphobic, it's up to you. Miss out. Stay away from them if you are, though.
Dude.
Avoid those places where trans women, however they describe themselves, congregate, hoping to meet men. Go and be a monk
Well,
somewhere.
I would rather be a monk than fuck some goddamn fake ass piece of shit that pretends to be a woman while having a big old swingy cock down there. Trust me.
Where do trans people congregate? Are there tranny bars now?
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It will be
What if your watering hole you've been going to for years turns
The
into
watering
the
hole. I think
place?
that's the name.
I was gonna say that's probably the name of the bar, the watering hole.
Well,
the splattering hole.
Oh.
But you know what I mean. What if the clientele changes around you and you're just always going to the same bar because you like that bar?
How about the dribbling
And
hole?
everyone in there starts changing, and you've been going there first. How is it your fault that everyone came to you?
Because you're
What, I'm supposed
straight
to
and
give
white.
up the place just because they want it?
Because you're cis.
Kyler, did a trans person hit on you at your bar?
Not that I'm aware of.
And what color did you fuck them?
More like the dilating hole.
Then again, I do miss a lot of social cues. Oftentimes I don't realize I'm being hit on until later.
Where everybody knows your name. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to your Cheers bar, that's your Cheers bar, and it's suddenly full of trans women.
And all the colors of the wind.
the other Pocahontas.
It will be safer for them because you know you can't control yourself and you can't tell the difference. Nobody can until the clothes are strewn.
This
I love
is
how
more of that testosterone makes you a dangerous animal bullshit.
they're acting like every trans woman is like the ones in the photos where they look, almost completely like women. I'm guessing like normally you could kind of tell.
Yeah.
No, it's the thumb people. I'm telling you, it's mostly just living, walking thumbs. I question if they're even human beings because you crack them open, they're just thumb bones in there. Their face, they don't have eyes. They're just fingerprints.
We do not suggest cracking open trans people.
Yeah, do not.
Why they let the surgeons do it?
Even if you fuck one and find out it's a dude.
And quite frankly, the rest of us will not have to be disgusted by your bigotry. Just don't give us the bullshit that your reluctance to date a trans woman because of her genitalia is anything other than transphobia. That is what is all right. And for Christ's sake, stop killing them.
Fair. I got two. I got 3 words for you. Go fuck yourself. Done.
How
For
many
Christ's
trans
sake.
people die in a year? How many you think die in a year?
Oh, far more than any other demographic, Jack. Obviously.
I think you should become a patron. I think you should sign up to Patreon for this person.
Is it ironic though that this guy's first name is Rod?
If you're not into
Oh
penis,
no!
you're not into
No!
penis.
The other white meat. Penis is the end. Go fuck themselves. What color? Go fuck yourself.
I like the comment below Frosted's was good. They were saying something about mental gymnastics in this article and
Yes. Mental gymnastics in this article would have earned you a gold in Tokyo. As a heterosexual man, I can acknowledge that another man is attractive. That doesn't mean I want to have sex with him. I can also acknowledge that a trans woman... Oh, I'm not reading all that.
Do read more.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Just click read more. See how long it is. Giggity. Oh, wow.
That's what he said when he met Garrett and Riley.
This is longer than leftist meme.
I can also acknowledge that a trans woman is attractive, but not be interested in sexual intercourse with another penis-having individual. That doesn't make me transphobic. It makes me heterosexual, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with being gay, bi, poly, or whatever. Oh, they called out polydub. Or whatever specific sexuality you identify as. Getting angry at finding out an attractive woman is trans is certainly indicative of some bias. However, simply saying, oh well, not my type, isn't problematic. Am I automatically a misogynist if I initially find a cis woman attractive, but after having a conversation with her decide that I don't want to have sex with her? Heck, I'll still buy either one of those women a drink and talk to them, but no amount of ridiculous attempts at shaming are going to make me derive pleasure from touching another penis. If that bothers you, then you need to take a long look in the mirror.
God. You know, all us penis-having individuals, you know.
Or PHI for short.
Oh, phi. That's a fucking Greek letter. That
I'm
actually
a
answers a
phi and proud of it.
I'm actually well endowed. I'm a hi-fi.
or if you have wireless, is it Wi-Fi?
There you go.
Nope, that's the wide ones, Moon.
Now we know why Wi-Fi Choric is a gender. It all makes sense.
Oh my God. Terry is a genius.
He is definitely a treasure of the internet.
All right.
If I get a robot penis, does that make me a sci-fi? I'm here all week, folks.
If I question it, does that make me a Wi-Fi?
All right. Well, with the end of the first article comes the first game, and that, of course, is Sad Libs,
I love this game. I might not win it all the time, but I love this game.
where I take 4 headlines from Medium.
Stop. Terry says, I'm pretty fine for a white guy.
This is the one where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out one word, and you have to replace that word Mad Lib style. And then the chat will vote on which one is best. So, Jack, I need an adjective.
I'm going to say itchy. Because there's the implication of VD in there.
All right, Moon, I need an adjective.
Would penis having be considered an adjective, or should I just choose something better?
I mean, I think it counts as an adjective if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it would sound like. That fuck it, penis having.
All right, Terry, I need an activity.
I'll go ass rape.
God damn.
All right, and Kyler, I need a proper noun.
Auschwitz.
Ass rape in Auschwitz this week on the corner.
Penis having ass rape in Auschwitz. That makes Jax feel very tame by comparison.
Well, yes, but you have to wait for it.
Yeah,
Because
itchy
it's
ass.
the
We have the
context that gives it the power.
Oh
All
god.
right.
I'm waiting for Jax to say like itchy, like then like vagina.
All right. Jax is itchy guys can be fuckboys too.
Nah, it didn't work. Ah.
And
It's worth a shot,
Moonshocks. Police don't make society's penis having. Social equity does.
Nice.
Let's see. Terry's. Why wages for ass rape needs to make a comeback.
Well, it's the least you can do is leave a little something on the.
So since it is rape, does this mean it's government subsidized?
Man, how do you get fired in that kind of job?
Oh my god! Wow.
All right. And Kyler, dear Jews, please stop upholding our enemies' lies about Auschwitz.
Oh, that was a little too appropriate.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy crap, that works. Oh, wow.
All right. And let's see. I'll start the poll.
Social equity makes societies not penis having.
I gotta go Moonshock on this one.
No, it's Terry. Terry by a mile.
Wages for ass rape. I'll pay you $12 an hour to ass rape. 40 hours a week.
Kyler's is good, but it's too on the nose. Terry's is definitely the best one. I'm getting a thumbs up
Kyler's
from the
getting all the
chairman
votes.
of the board.
Kyler's the one getting all the votes, though. Those goddamn racist piece of shit.
No, I'd actually have to agree. Terry's is just a little bit better. Mine, it looks like I actually was told ahead of time, which I wasn't.
Yeah, I was disappointed when Frost had said "Dear Jews" for yours. Like, oh, that makes it too. It works too well. But there's no sort of contrast.
You know what needs to happen is switch Terry's and Kyler's. Why wages for Auschwitz need to make a comeback.
Yeah,
Or
Or
lies
enemies'
about
lies about ass rape.
yeah.
Keever Dam says, "On the nose, you say."
All right.
I'm pretty sure the ADL is gonna give me my wages for ass raping me.
All right, and the winner with 4 votes is Kyler.
Yay! Auschwitz always wins.
Well, I don't know. It did lose the first time. All right, and for the
Or
next
didn't.
article, if you could decide what's one thing that the left is good at, what would it be?
Nothing.
Complaining.
Destroying things that I like.
Not winning.
Being pussy.
That's right, comedy.
Oh,
They are not.
God, why?
Not on purpose, anyway.
Okay,
Well,
none of
they
those
have a
3
good
are
point,
comedians.
They just made me laugh.
That's right, because this is a satire article.
oh, nice.
Yeah, Ellie Salvage.
White Hollywood elite targeted in recent string of Asian hate crimes.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Morality is acceptable only if it goes hand in hand with profitability. Just ask Hollywood, who is finally taking Asian hate seriously. Asian hate crimes took America by storm in recent months, Millions of poor white trash sought to kill Asians simply for their efforts in promoting the coronavirus.
Oh,
What?
Shit.
white, you say? White,
It was
you
not
say?
white
You
trash.
want to
It
double check
was-
that fact?
Yeah,
It was man or stranger or thug.
or
We-
black, perhaps. Just putting it out
Super
there.
predator, to quote
Mhm.
quote Hillary. We brought up that it's dangerous to generalize an entire race just because a disease existed in their hometown, but these fools refuse to listen to us. The Wuhan flu originated in China, and we're simply preventing the spread of the virus further, proud racist Daniel Jackson claimed.
What?
We should note
What
that
kind of
Jackson
name is
refused.
Daniel?
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is satire, so I think this is a made-up scenario that's supposed to be funny.
Oh, right.
We should note that Jackson refused to wear a mask around us. We tried to
Because
convince
masks are
Republican.
unnecessary.
We tried to convince Republican leader Moscow Mitch McConnell to order his fan base to stop attacking innocent Asian Americans. However, McConnell refused. We're trying to invade China to replenish the semiconductor shortage. All of these hate crimes are furthering our cause. We need as much support as we can to prevent China from becoming a global superpower. Republican fake news creator and staunch Hitler devotee Sean Hannity proposed containing the Chinese Americans in concentration camps until the virus dies down.
Come on now, they're not Australians.
I'm failing to see the humor here. None of this is
Wait.
funny. This is fucking reaching. This is like desperation porn.
Wait,
No,
so this is a satire article and not just what they actually think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
this here looks exactly what you would see in the mind of some fucking lefty who sees the world through and I hate using this term, the lens of hatred.
This just sounds like any given day on Rachel Maddow.
Exactly. You know, 'cause this is happening. This is real life. This is your life. Like, shut up, bitch.
You know, because she's been all over about the have you heard about the Rachel Maddow defense?
Oh god.
That nothing she says is at no reasonable person would expect the thing she says on her show to be factually correct.
Well,
That
it never
this
is anyway.
The legal defense that Rachel Maddow is using. That no reasonable person would expect what she says to be factual.
A slew of MAGA supporters armed with NRA rifles, because the NRA makes rifles apparently,
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
drove to Beverly Hills, California. Led by Jackson, they opened fire on select mansions, injuring multiple celebrities.
Oh.
Hollywood Unlocked disclosed that all the victims were white Hollywood actors and actresses.
I wish this wasn't satire now. I wish this was true.
Yeah. No shit.
Depends
we
on
were-
the white actor or actress.
We were curious why white celebrities were targeted, as Hollywood Unlocked revealed that Jackson yelled, "Death to all Asians." We wondered if these MAGA supporters needed to visit an ophthalmologist. FBI Director Christopher A. Wray allowed us to interview these white terrorists they arrested. Some supporters were shocked that they attacked white people instead of Asians. Jackson, however, was staunch in his belief that he reduced the Asian population. It's bad enough to be an Asian. It's even worse to be born white but become an Asian. Why would you throw away your pure blood skin?
You know, I'm starting to suspect this is like some sort of bizarre reverse satire, wherein it's a satirical point about what progressives actually think about their opposition.
This actually looks just like an article that you would see from a lefty, only they're substituting different kinds of racial epithets, like your Asians instead of your blacks or your whites. It looks like carefully word-crafted stuff that they've just kind of reversed around to make it look exactly what one of them would actually say about somebody in, if this wasn't satire, this is actually what the reverse of a real article would be from somebody on their side that would be bitching about the way things are.
Actually, they're kind of revealing their hand with the actors and actresses they put at the head of the article, because you read down a little bit, they're mad about cultural appropriation or
Yes,
replacement.
they are.
Yeah.
It's a kind of it's a hit piece disguised as satire.
And they're very bad at it too.
These white actors and actresses promoted disgusting Asian love by starring as Asians in following blockbusters movies. We simply went to Beverly Hills and specifically targeted the threats to the white man. Jackson ranted off a list of his victims and his reasons for targeting them. Scarlett Johansson portrayed the main Asian character in Ghost of a Shell.
Oh my God, it's Ghost in the Shell, you stupid motherfucker.
No, it says quite clearly Ghost of a Shell.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. If it's on the internet, it must be true.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton portrayed an Asian kung fu master in Doctor Strange, and no, her character was not Asian. Let's see. Emma Stone portrayed an Asian military captain in Aloha. Christopher Walken portrayed a ping-pong Chinese master in Balls of Fury. Liam Neeson portrayed Ra's al Ghul, an Asian mentor to Batman in Batman Begins.
Ra's al Ghul wasn't Asian.
No.
He
Well,
was
his name sounds kind of Asian, so the author just assumes. Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson, and Christian Bale portrayed Batman in different films. Batman is believed to be Asian among the shooting community.
What?
I love that.
What?
What?
Oh my God.
Batman is Asian.
I mean,
Batman's secret Asian man.
Secret Asian man.
Where the fuck did they get that from?
I mean, you can
Because
kind of
They made it
associate.
up. It's their headcanon.
You can kind of associate
Headcanon
bats
is
with
real.
Wuhan.
Yeah, it's
Good
Bruce
point.
Lee, not Bruce Wayne.
We relayed this back to the Hollywood foreign press, who was shocked that they're now facing serious repercussions of their whitewashing. All the names listed above are A-listers who bring in millions of revenue for certain films, and Hollywood simply can't afford losing these stars after they suffered billions of lost revenue from the pandemic. President Ali Saar issued an ultimatum to major production companies that whoever still partakes in whitewashing will no longer receive award promotions or marketability. True to his word, Saar suspended infamous director M. Night Shyamalan indefinitely for his long overdue crimes against the Avatar franchise.
Well, his movie was a crime against the franchise, but that's beside their point.
Oh,
Shyamalan is like Indian, right?
Yes.
I think so. Oh,
Yeah.
disclaimer. All characters and events in this article, even those based on real people and events, are entirely fictional. It is written to poke fun at the subjects mentioned. It is satire. For now.
And you need to learn how to be
Thank
fucking...
God.
You need to learn comedy,
Thank
dickhead.
God. Thank God somebody put a disclaimer there.
Ugh.
I would have thought that Batman was Asian.
Wait, he's not? Oh my God. Mind blown.
Well,
But you
we
didn't
know
see him-
we know from the Adam West show that he's Gaysian because I saw him climbing the wall with Robin very close behind. So.
Oh, and that's one thing you'll always see is Batman's always behind. Mm-hmm. Robin's the power top, and Batman's the power bottom. Gosh,
All right.
yes, Batman. When you put it that way.
Man, those you gotta hand it to those leftists. They sure are hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fucking rafflecopter of epic proportions.
I laughed all the way through, and I haven't stopped laughing yet.
Yeah, I'm laughing right now, but just inside. See.
All right, and now it's time for the second game, which is for the chat only, Jack,
Yeah. Chat only.
and that's the
Shut
caption
up.
contest, where I'll show a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with a good caption for it. And whichever one we like the best, I'll post on Twitter after the show.
Keeper Jensen said there's some Ting Wong here. Holy fuck, that was funny.
All right. And this week we have good old Sleepy Joe looking like he's falling asleep during a moment of silence at his press conference.
Oh my god. Did you see? Okay, I actually watched this. Sticks X and Hammer, he did a commentary on this guy on Biden's speech right here the other day. Oh my god. I really couldn't care less about Sticks' commentary, but just listening to Joe when he does these things, how fucking hopped up on meth and fucking caffeine is this guy whenever he makes his speeches, because he sounds so goddamn fake. I've heard politicians sound fake, but this guy, he takes the cake.
Always kind of sounded like that. It's just more apparent as he's gotten older.
I think Faithless is off to a very strong start with keep it clenched.
I need a nap. Did I leave the oven on again?
Don't call. Please give me more children to sniff.
Oh god.
It really does look like he's holding in a fart, doesn't it?
The chairman and I came up with kind of a one together earlier. It was what was it? Oh please God, don't let me have shit my pants again.
No, not again.
He looks like he's doing a very emotional harmonica solo.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's see.
What was he actually doing when this picture took place?
I think didn't someone ask him a question or something, and he's like, "Oh, we should have a moment of silence or whatever for."
Oh god.
Yeah. So basically, he was stalling / trying to change the subject.
Hey, wait a second. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm pretty sure his brain is kind of like a stalling motor engine at this point. It just kind of goes off and on at times, and it just all motor functions cease for 5 seconds at a time.
Is that guy behind him? Is that Teddy Roosevelt?
It's difficult to tell, but it might be.
From this angle, maybe.
Because if that's the case, wasn't Teddy Roosevelt all sorts of racist too, according to the left?
I don't know.
No. He was
I'm sure
a colonialist.
I'm sure every president was racist according to the left, except FDR maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, and Barack Obama.
Everyone who wasn't a Democrat was racist.
That's true. Yeah.
All right.
And if they were, it's because of the Southern strategy.
Yeah. All right. I think I'll call it there. So, which one do you guys like best? And we also have my butt needs changed. Hopefully, no one notices the smell.
I don't think anyone beat Faithless. I think Faithless is my winner.
Yeah. I'd probably go with the keep it clenched.
That was good.
I'll agree with that.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to stick out. I don't want to be a subverter.
All right.
Yeah, because he really does look like he's holding in some, maybe he shit himself. He's like, oh no, keep it clenched, keep it clenched.
Yeah.
Well, then it looks like this week's winner is Faithless.
Yay, Faithless!
Congratulations.
And I'll tweet that out after the show.
You win the worst game ever created.
No, the worst game ever created is the last one.
You're not wrong.
Yes, because
did you say the last one or the Last of Us 2? Because there's a strong case for both.
I've never played either of the Last of Us games. I know everyone hated the second
I've only
one.
played the first one and I didn't like it. So
Eh.
And the
Alright,
second one involves what I have pieced together. I think that there's like this big mannish woman who's mentally retarded or something and just kills people for no reason.
So
Am
Jessica
I on
and
to
Eve.
something? No, I said mannish woman, not mannish man.
Alright, and on to our third article. Woo-woo people are the biggest untapped anti-racists.
What?
Unless it's not
What?
witchy woo woo.
Woo-woo.
Woo woo. Or is it
Or
woo woo?
What's a woo woo?
I guess
Yeah,
we're going
I
to
think-
find out.
And I woo.
The whistle go woo.
No, I believe
Well, I
it's,
know,
it's unrelated to
woo-woo is-
Anti-Oop.
Ewa Woo Woo is Edward Woodward if you spell his name without the D's. I learned that from QI.
Alright. Spiritual New Age woo-woo has struck a chord for a reason in the West. We are nations of trauma. The trickster of colonialism and white supremacy is a powerful elixir, an addictive substance that robs everyday people of a realistic grip on the world. And the whole idea of getting grounded and being mindful is to counter that crap. Which is why it's important
So-
for white...
So basically, this author is about to say that here's a group of people who's obviously suggestible through their belief in bullshit.
Yes.
It's right up our alley.
Yep. Which is why it's important for white people, especially spiritual white woo-woo women, to understand the far-reaching potential of the woo to actually combat capitalism, neoliberalism, and the plague of whiteness.
Oh my god.
They are an untapped market, a potential source of organizing power, but they need to get it right. Here's how. I write as someone who grew up as a minority white kid. I don't care about your childhood. Let's see. Let's see. Seize the electrifying energy of empowerment that comes with awakening to realize you are a vessel for change. This is political. This is about human agency and organizing power. Now that you've emerged from your cocoon and realized your conditioning, where will you direct that energy? This is your wake up, and you are now in a position to wake others up. Matrix style. Keep your keep your humility intact and never present as a savior. Keep your ego in check and think of yourself as one tiny player. I see too many
I
new
would
age.
I would like to spend a little time on whatever planet this person's on. Because it's not Earth.
Either that or they need to share their drugs with me.
Yeah. I see too many new age white women have all these realizations only to go hang out with other white women at retreats in Bali. No. Do you realize what it means to wake up to the follies of Western capitalist indoctrination? That is powerful shit. Now is the time to blaze your trail.
Wait, we don't know that that's the word they were going to say. Those asterisks, all we know is it starts with SH. Maybe that is powerful shoe. We don't know.
That is a powerful shoe. Where you live,
When
who you
it scrolled up to that point, from this angle, it almost looks like a hand puppet.
Well, that's
I don't
what
know.
they call it.
I just thought like because he's got his fist up in the air and from this far away because I'm watching it on a TV, it looks like a hand puppet almost.
Where you live, who you surround yourself with, and the people of your everyday life all determine your world. Ask yourself what your daily life could look like if it reflected greater equity and neighborhood engagement, and then begin making those changes.
Neighborhood engagement sounds like an Orwellian term for struggle sessions.
And doesn't equity mean be a parasite and leech off of people more successful than yourself?
Yeah, but that's a good thing. Let's see. It could be a new neighborhood, new group of friends, new work, new spiritual group, you name it. Is it time for a change? How can you get involved in your larger community in a non-hierarchical, non-savior way? There are often innate seeming organic avenues in which you can do your part, and this can happen in two ways. Sometimes it means looking at harder areas that don't get spoken of. Again, this is not about feeling good. If you or your family have a history of addiction or incarceration, then it's time to excavate and engage those topics in your anti-racist work. Perhaps you can facilitate free group circles for white folks and black and brown folks to share openly about struggles we all face regardless of race.
God, everything these people say, everything sounds like cult bullshit. Do they know that they sound like cultists, like crazed cultists when they talk?
No, the cultists never realize that they're cultists.
No, they just know the one true way. And for, a nominal fee, they can show it to you.
You just have to donate it to the right person, to the leader. You have to donate it. Donate all of your money to the leader, but even that's not enough.
No, your wife must come and attend the leader overnight.
You must serve the leader. You have not served the leader well enough. The leader frowns upon you. I'll stop now.
The leader is not as forgiving as I am.
The leader has changed the deal. Pray he does not change it further.
I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further.
Also a good thing for a tranny to say when they reveal that they're a guy.
I have altered the penis. Pray I do not alter it any further.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Does it at least come with one of those nice inflatable donuts?
On the other hand,
penis is getting worse every time.
on the other hand, perhaps your professional expertise also lends itself to anti-racist work. For example, are you a passionate real estate agent who can now work on housing discrimination? Are you a yoga studio owner who can make your studio available for reparations meetings? Can you host the reparations meeting?
Go fuck yourself with your reparations, shithead.
Yeah. Everyone who needs reparations is fucking dead.
Yeah, every single fucking one of them.
And the people they need it from are also fucking dead.
Yeah, I would say we're probably about 5 or 6 or 7 generations ahead of those people now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
There's-
I will give reparations to all of the people that I've enslaved. Full stop. I'm willing to commit to this right now.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention the fact that we've already paid them and then some for all the crap that they've cost us so far since then. So we owe them nothing.
Yeah,
No, I
there's
think
no
we should
one-
just tell them if you want reparations, they're out in the cotton field. You might have to pick some cotton to find them. It's right down there in the soil. You need to get all that cotton out first.
Yeah,
And
we'll
when you're
do
done picking that cotton, can you just throw it in this bin? It's just a regular bin. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll do like a Willy Wonka golden ticket thing where the golden ticket's hidden in a thing of cotton.
There you go.
Yeah, there is no one alive today who met anyone who met a person who was enslaved in America.
No, I think some people have met Satsu. He's black. He's automatically enslaved.
Yeah.
Wait. Satsu's not black. He didn't vote for Biden.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Maybe he did, and he just lied about it. He wanted to stay black, so he voted Biden, but he didn't want to admit that to the internet.
Yeah.
So,
Don't they
If he-
don't they revoke your black card for not voting Democrat or something like that?
yeah, they
if
do.
if he meets the right tranny, they can fuck him black.
There you go.
Bam.
No, see, he'll lose his black card for not voting Democrat, but then he'll fuck it back black. There you go.
Hey.
Are you a therapist who can partner with therapists of color in some way?
Oh God, Mr. Dex, hide the reparations ticket into job applications.
Wow! Wow!
Oh,
Wow! Oh! Now I'm sad for all of us.
No, I think the other way you could do it is you can have reparations, but you need both your parents to sign for it.
Well, Daddy just said he went
Oh,
to cigarettes.
or the
This
tickets
is
are
too
in the
much.
cigarette cases.
Oh my God! This is the channel is about to explode. I can't hold on much longer, Captain.
Hey,
Frosted
we're
Glasses channel, rip.
Hey, we're trying to solve the problems in the black community, Jack. Okay.
Yeah. Get woke.
And then go broke.
Get woke. Get rewards.
Ooh.
These are just a few considerations and ways in which spiritual woo-woo folks can take strong internal experiences and translate them externally.
So this is for witchy woo woo. Got it.
Yeah, it's for gullible people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
It's for
breatharians
idiots.
and the
Hey, idiots out
tea
there.
drinkers.
With wellness being such a lucrative industry and the demand for an alternative way of living skyrocketing as burnout prevails and late-stage capitalism burns promises to ash, millions of people are left desperate for answers and meaning, with a dash of depression and gobs of money. This is your wake-up. Apply yourself. Get out of the slumber state. Channel all that energy into real change for yourself and the people and land you hold dear.
Why even bother saying woo woo? Just say idiots. You could replace woo woo with idiots.
Just because I'm not American, is the slumber state Florida? I hear that's where all the old people are, so that's what I'm thinking.
It's whatever state Joe Biden's in.
Ah, okay. So Washington.
Woo woo people is just a synonym for idiots. Hey, idiots, give me your money. You have all of this extra money lying around. They don't, but they're idiots, so they don't realize that. Give it to me. Why? Because we have the most compelling message for idiots.
All right, and now it's time for the final game of the night.
The best game.
Everybody's favorite game. Po or No Gender Edition.
I'm going to be very disappointed if one of them is not Gunsky Korik.
Oh, I forgot to hide
Wax
that.
gender.
All right.
Easter eggy.
It's too late. We've already seen them. Just roll with it.
All right, so one of
Easter egg.
two of these are completely real because they're from the LGBTIA wiki, and one I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up.
Oh my God.
The first one, wax gender.
Every time you say you have to figure out one which is made up, my brain does a little backflip.
So, wax gender. Xenogender that feels warm and takes the shape of a person like melted wax.
Huh.
Oh, so the doormat of the relationship.
Easter eggic. Gender that feels like lots of genders are hidden from view, and it's the individual's role to find them all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Mega gender.
And negagender. Neurogender, where someone's gender is defined by the negative symptoms of schizophrenia.
Nice.
Crazy.
Can we just change the E to the I to an I and a G?
All right, and I'll start the poll so that the chat can guess too.
Okay, well, negagender is obviously real because leave it to these people to come up with the most abstract gender they can possibly think of because it sounds fancy to them. So I think C is real right out the gate.
I'm going to say that B is the fake one, only because it sounds so goddamn funny and I love it so much because I'm always wrong on this one anyway. So...
I'm going to say wax gender is the fake one.
I agree with Terry. I think it's wax gender.
Wax.
I'm going to have to agree with Mooney on this one. Because wax gender just sounds like someone trying to rationalize themselves being the doormat in their.
All right, just give it about 10 more seconds so the chat can finish up. Looks like they're leaning A.
That and it just sounds hilarious. Like, so what are you? I'm Easter egg.
All right, and it looks like the chat went with A with 2 votes. All right, and the answer is
It'll be A, guaranteed.
A is fake.
I fucking
Yes.
Yes. That's even more scary because I would love to see the fucking flag for Easter egg.
Well,
I really want to.
I'm glad you asked because here it is.
You know it's coming, but you can't help but laugh.
And of course, they're all pastels.
Somebody
God,
learned how to use MS Paint.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
And here's the flag for nega gender.
Probably one gigantic negative sign, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta
It's
be.
just kind of boring looking.
Oh my god, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like one of those fake ass fucking filters that you would put on a Photoshop. Looks like Chrome, but only it's really, really terrible Chrome.
Well, it's blue skin color and green.
Nega gender. Good god.
I just
Is there a Go ahead.
they made a gender that sounds like the evil twin of a real gender. Nega gender.
Gender.
Is there a posi gender too to make up for it?
I am the enemy of all genders.
And
Let's
Moon.
just be real. They're all a bunch of dumb niggas.
Yes, Rustin.
Oh, and Moon. Yes, there is a posit gender.
Oh my god, of course there is.
Well, because this one is associated with the negative aspects of schizophrenia. The other one is with the positive aspects.
Oh my god.
So there's a posagender?
Yes, you just said.
Your
Oh,
mental
yeah.
illness is not a gender, fool.
So what
Hey.
what are the positive aspects of schizophrenia? You have all the fun imaginary
You're
friends.
never lonely, Jack. You're never lonely.
Yeah.
And when they're close to each other, they stick together like a magnet.
they've been taking the COVID vaccine. That's why they're magnetic.
So does this mean that the person is 2 genders at once now because they're both posa and negagender?
Well, yeah, they're schizophrenic.
That's
Yeah,
bipolar.
they're schizophrenic, so they're multiple genders.
So do you think that Jesus hates Easter egg since he was hung on Easter?
Well, no, Easter was like 3 days after he was nailed up.
See, but still, that's
No, Easter
wasn't-
is
he
when
wasn't
he came
hung.
back
He-
alive. So you could say there's an actual case for Jesus Christ to be Easter egging.
But also,
Although I'm pretty sure that that's like what's it called, heresy at some point.
yeah, but Jesus wasn't hung. That should be fairly widely known how he died.
he was nailed.
Yeah,
Yes.
he
You hear
was
that,
nailed,
Terry?
and not in the fun way.
Terry is saying that Jesus did not have a big penis.
Hmm. I mean, I haven't seen it myself, but I mean,
Well,
people
he did
talk.
manage to convert a prostitute, so maybe he did.
No. I think that it's just how he used it.
Was he the original transgender?
Hmm.
All right, and now for the final article of the night. If you guys were gonna name one issue with BreadTube, what would it be?
Considering I don't even know what the fuck that even is. I hear it all the time. I have no idea what it is.
That they're just too friendly to everyone.
Not enough toasters.
Toasters.
that they're not funny enough. That they're too funny.
Okay, so before this article, unless it even explains it, what the fuck is BreadTube anyway?
It's all the commies on YouTube.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have anything to do with bread?
There's a book about something about bread, and
It's like
It's made
bread
up.
lines or something like
Because
that.
of all the bread lines. No, I think that they probably look at it as like, dividing bread or something, but I just associate it with bread lines.
no. There is a book that it's named after, and I don't know the name of the book, but there's like some communist sort of, I don't know, some sort of explanation or some sort of promotion of communism, and the book is got something to do with bread in the title. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Like, commies are, perpetually stuck in the 19th century.
Where are all these intelligent communists that I keep hearing about?
Hey,
They all just
socialism,
sound like dumb
Here it is.
assholes to me.
socialism works, Jack.
The Conquest of Bread. That's the book that it's named after.
The conquest of bread.
Conquest of bread.
Wow.
It's funny because we already conquested bread, and they're still working on that part, and people still keep dying by the millions because of them.
That sounds like a book that Wolfgang Puck would write. The Conquest of Bread.
Well, if your answer was, they're not far left enough, you'd be right.
Oh, God.
How to combat BreadTube.
Easy, you can push him over with one hand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I realized about the synthetic left? They exist to regulate public consciousnesses away from topics about class and Marxist critiques, and the key to dealing with their social roadblocks is just to drive right through them.
Well, hold on. Alternative theory. Maybe we have been through this like 1,000 times now and decided that your ideas are bullshit and stupid, and they lead to millions of people dying. Have you thought about that? Has
Millions.
it crossed your mind that maybe you're not the first person to think of your brilliant fucking ideas?
Millions
All
of
the-
And that
kulaks, Jack.
But all the
that-
people who died are bad people, so that makes
Yes.
it good.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time they cancel you, double down. Every time they try to shut you up, speak louder. Every time they hate you for being working class, ignore them. All their power is an illusion, and the working majority is always on your side.
No, we're not.
This is why
The
they're...
working
what
majority
they
is busy with their jobs. They don't give a fuck about you. Sorry.
I could be characterized as what Marx was talking about as the proletariat. I've worked in factories my entire adult life, and I know they're talking bullshit. Because what they are proposing sounds like me going to my same job without the ability to save up to get myself something nice, because I don't get wages. I just get my one little room to exist in and just enough food to keep me alive and working. How is this a good deal for me?
And
Well, yeah,
what's more,
that doesn't sound nice to you?
No.
and what's more, you don't even get to choose your job. Someone else chooses it for you.
Yeah,
They-
that
they-
nice young person from the ministry with a badge and a gun.
Yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, communism. It sounds good on paper. It sounds good." No, it sounds awful on paper. You are a slave to the state necessarily. These people who are so against slavery all the time want to enslave themselves and me in the process to the state. Guess what? I don't want to be a slave. Have you thought
Yeah.
about that for a second?
And
No,
Mr.
the
Dick
work-
is right. Also, no promotions. And
No, the workers will be in charge, so there will be no oppression. It'll be perfect.
right. Several of my former coworkers, I wouldn't want them in charge of a fucking egg, let alone an entire factory.
These
Uh,
people think that all white people are responsible for slavery as a whole. but they haven't considered the possibility that all the workers can be responsible for enslaving themselves.
It's real simple, the deal I make with my employers. I sell them my labor for the money I need to get the things I need to exist, and hopefully, I've negotiated a good enough wage that I can get nice things for myself, like this PC I'm using to talk to everyone here, and the nice mic that I bought, and the lovely monitors that go with it.
Now, wouldn't you prefer like a nice plain apartment, you know, with like nice state approved beige paint?
All beige clothes.
Let's see. When they talk about how incest or bestiality or necrophilia should be a human right, that's a desperate ploy to get people to stop discussing things like history, philosophy, trade unions, and civil rights, and so on. Just ignore them.
Of course. Because if they discuss those things, they'll realize just how bankrupt the entire ideology they're pushing is.
See, just ignore them. Don't state the obvious. Don't even debate it. When Foucault and Derrida were desperate, they openly advocated for legalized pedophilia. The more gross and weird they become, the more they are acknowledging the success of the working class. In the U.S., this is typified by the Frankfurt School. Yes, neo-Nazis make up conspiracies about them, but truth is that the Frankfurt School has, for the most part, been a good friend to Nazism.
You can't make a good hot dog without a good Frankfurt. So I think I'm okay with this.
It's true.
And Nazism is an offshoot of socialism, no matter how much these idiots try to say otherwise.
Nonsense. Only evil right wingers could be Nazis.
The National Socialist Workers' Party.
Yes.
No, it wasn't real socialism. It wasn't real socialism.
It wasn't.
Real socialism, according to these people, has never been tried.
Exactly.
Actually,
Now
I
you
have
get
to
it.
agree, because most attempts at socialism, from my point of view, are simply reworkings of feudalism where there is no intermediate nobility.
See, the reason socialism has never worked before is because I wasn't in charge. Once I'm in charge, it'll work perfectly.
Well, obviously, I think that I agree. I think Terry should be in charge.
Yes, all hail the great leader Terry Deomatis.
No, because then I'll have to start putting extra U's in words.
And he might have to go outside, breaking the first and second tenets of Terryism.
Well, I won't be going outside. That's for all the lowly workers to do.
He'll have the workers lift up the house and move it.
Yes, there you go.
Let's see. They exist to create a controlled opposition of anti-fascism, to make sure anti-fascism becomes a paramilitary wing of liberalism rather than Marxism. It is the anti-fascism of West Germany as opposed to East Germany, the far superior Germany. Let's see. In fact, let's take a break here and listen to Auferstanden aus Ruinen. That's okay.
Are you sure? It sounds so fascinating.
It turns out that fascists actually fight for the same thing BreadTube does, namely money.
Of course. Makes
That's
the
why-
world go round.
That's why BreadTube loves to talk about how working class people all have some secret patriarchal urge to dominate the feminine spirit of the ludosexual, vegetarian, proto-lesbian, post-psychological hindbrain or whatever the fuck. If this person wasn't a commie, they'd have a point. It's all bullshit to hide the truth. BreadTube, Frankfurt School, Brown Shirts, they are all working for the same bottom line. They are all beholden to the market forces of capitalism, and none of them can bite the hand that feeds them.
Wow, it's almost as though you've discovered that communists are disingenuous.
No, these people just aren't real communists.
There you go.
Fascism is a contingent of liberalism, and especially social democracy. So it's not that far-fetched to see how all three groups have shared interests.
Wait,
They
wait.
all,
Fascism is a contingent of liberalism?
yeah, they're pretty much
What?
the same thing. Yeah.
Do it.
I suppose from the extreme far left point of view, they all look very similar because they're so fucking far away.
I would just like to point out that this person is, at this point, I think is pretty much saying everyone is wrong except for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. They all want a weak working class. They all want a political aristocracy. They all want a rigid class structure. The moment the working...
business as usual.
Hmm?
So business as usual.
Yeah, they're fascists. The moment the working class gains democratic power, the liberal status quo employs fascism as its loyal mercenaries.
Everyone is a fascist but me.
Everyone
And what's
from
fascism? It's stuff I hate.
everyone from Coco Chanel to Henry Ford were perfectly content with liberalism until the labor unions got stronger and their profits were threatened by economic crisis.
Well, actually, I kind of agree about labor unions. They are parasites.
Sounds like a fascist thing to say.
No, it sounds like someone who doesn't want to give some asshole who doesn't do any work 15% of his fucking wages every fucking week.
Definitely fascism.
Yep. The job of fascism is to move the wealth of the people into the hands of the rich. The job of liberalism is to move the wealth of the people into the hands of the rich. The job of social democracy is to move the wealth of the people into the hands of the rich. From the
So, if Richard Art is listening, apparently you're about to get really, really just tons of money.
I'm starting to think that this person is like homeless and lives in like a ditch somewhere, and they're just kind of crazy, and they wandered into a library where they found a computer and just typed all this up and just sent it to a random email address, and that happens to have been the editors for Medium.
or
Just
they live
saying.
or they live in like a $5 million mansion.
Yeah.
That too.
From the Holocaust to the Uppsala Institution to Jim Crow, they all do the same thing in the end. They uphold the exact same class structure. And the job of the synthetic left is to keep the workers docile, to point at the fascists and proclaim, "Hey, look, these reactionary genocides. Don't you want to join the trendy and hip woke genocides? Why?
No.
Why hate Jews when you can hate the Chinese?"
I
We're
like
the
to think I can hate both.
Yeah. I'll be an equal opportunity hatist.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know where this author's going at this point. I'm just not even following anymore. It's all over the place. They're just like everyone's a fascist. That seems to be the only consistent thing I've heard in this whole thing. Everyone is a fascist for some reason.
Now, I think this is written by an outcast kid who's still in high school.
He's going on about how everybody is a phony.
Yeah. We're the cool kids on the block with the fresh and modern white supremacy. So what do? We stop existing within their domain. We ignore them. We refuse to engage with their anti-intellectual dichotomies and culture wars. Just because they put in a nose ring and call themselves queer doesn't mean it's okay to pick up chicks at the graveyard, I'm sorry to say. Ignore this discourse. They are animals. Animals belong in cages, not forums. Be dogmatic. Dogmatism moves history forward. Be
What?
dogmatic.
It's a new religion.
Yes.
Oh my
Be
God.
dogmatic about sex criminals. Be dogmatic about anti-Semitism. Be dogmatic about informed consent. Be dogmatic about all these principles. If someone wants to debate about whether or not it's okay to abuse animals, tell them to fuck off before you call the police.
Wow.
That's probably good advice, actually.
Do not be open-minded. Open-mindedness is the crack pipe of intellectualism.
The crack
It's just
type of
insane.
individualism.
I think the rough draft of this was written in feces on his wall. And instead, we endeavor to build a higher consciousness. We move forward. We begin to talk about science, engineering, infrastructure, philosophy. Real philosophy, not bohemian postmodernism and the NAMBLA freaks. History
Wow.
and so on.
What do they have against people looking like Marlon Brando?
I don't know.
This guy has it out for people like pedophiles and people
No shit.
who harm animals. You know, all those things the fascists are defending.
Fascists.
Yeah, the fascists on BreadTube.
The fascistas.
We discuss real
I
and
remember when ContraPoints made that famous video where she said that people should start having sex with animals.
You're thinking of Jank.
Gank.
Or maybe Riley Dennis.
Oh.
Oh.
We discuss real and interesting topics. We elevate life. Synthetic left hates working class people and working class culture. They will slander and lie about all our achievements. We are the class who beat the Nazis. We are the class who traveled to space. We are the class who have cured the most illnesses, saved the most refugees, ended the most wars, and built the most nations. We have nothing but pride in our history.
Shit. You ain't done shit.
I've-
Stop tagging your name onto the people who've actually done stuff. You ain't done jack shit.
An essayist on some blogger site hasn't done a damn thing. Probably is still living off mommy and daddy's money.
This just how about this as a general life advice? Stop saying you did shit you didn't do. Stop saying other people did shit that they didn't do. That would solve like almost every single problem we have in America today. If people just stopped saying people did things that obviously they didn't do. That's it. That's all you have to do.
No, everything great was done by workers. You know, that they was kings.
Yeah, they sure designed that rocket all right. They designed it with their hammers.
God.
Well, there is something to going to work every day and making something that's going to last the person who buys it years.
Yes. Well, good craftsmanship is extremely important, but it cannot take the place of good engineering.
Oh, true enough.
No, but
I mean-
that's hierarchical thinking, though.
Well,
That's fascist.
I could have never designed any of the things I've made in factories over the years, but I do take pride in that they all freaking passed QA, and nobody's been, and none of the places I worked has been sued over a failure because of something I made.
You'll get there eventually. Keep trying.
Meanwhile, these progressive intellectuals forget their own history. How the progressive position used to be phrenology when working class people joined the Wobblies and fought the Klan. The hell are the Wobblies?
I don't know.
Seriously.
World Workers in the World Workers. It was an organization in the 30s that was almost social. That was kind of socialist, and they tried to set up unions everywhere.
I don't know. It sounds something Australian. Terry, can you translate for us?
No idea what the Wobblies are.
That sounds like something you would like call cops or something down there.
Yeah. Just a
Oh
quick
no, it's the
thing.
Wobblies.
The IWW.
I mean, the Wobblies to me sounds like a kids show.
I've heard there's an Australian slang phrase that says "Don't throw a wobbly."
It's a
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a slang term for the Industrial Workers of the World, an international labor union that was founded in Chicago, of all freaking places.
Because
And
of course
they
it
were
was.
yeah, because of course it was. They were unionizers, and they were not popular in a lot of places.
A union founded in the home of organized crime. That sounds perfectly fine.
In the 30s, when organized crime basically ran Chicago.
Let's see. They forget how the progressive position used to be eugenics and workhouses when working class people joined the Red Army and fought Hitler. They forget how the progressive position used to be that Africans needed the guidance of civilized whites, while the working class joined the patriots of Paris and New England with the promise of abolition and indigenous peoples' equality. But I thought the Revolutionary War was done by like intellectual racists and bad white guys and all that. They forget how they are the vanguard of assholes. How they are the anchor that is tied to the intellectual tradition of workers. We are more educated, more conscious, more intellectual, and far more honest.
They never met anybody I worked with.
This is because we are not paid and funded by institutions who seek to preserve the shared status quo of fascists and liberals alike. Down with BreadTube, down with liberal academia, down with the bourgeois intelligentsia. Build your own...
This author is a member, obviously.
Yeah, but he's one of the good ones.
Oh, right.
I'm curious, is this person selling a book?
Probably.
Probably.
Because
I think
I
we're
will
reading
be
the
honest, of all the books that have been advertised through Medium, this one might be the most interesting.
book. With how long this article is, I think we're reading the book.
Well, it's almost done.
Thank God.
Build your own intellectual tradition. Educate yourself. Talk among your fellow workers. Discuss higher ideas and dignify yourselves in the light of philosophy, history, and virtue. I thought you didn't like intelligentsia.
We never talked about that kind of stuff around the break table. We'd bitch about the bosses. We'd bitch about how stupid the job was at times. And then we'd brag on who we were fucking at the time. Honestly. We're not complicated people. Not really.
Well, you weren't being a worker the right way.
Yeah, and basically none of my coworkers were either. All several hundred of them.
Do not crawl at the feet of people who hate you. Do not listen to the synthetic left. Exclude them, refute them, denounce them, draw a bold line between us and them. Make sure that they are not welcome, that they are not trusted, and that if they want to be animals, then they can go to the zoo. Build yourself up and do not fall for their degrading schemes.
Okay, and I won't fall for yours either, Bubba.
I mean, I agree with the point that you shouldn't listen to BreadTube, so partial credit.
But that's because they're fascists. They're not real socialists or Marxists or communists or whichever one.
Right.
All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight, gentlemen. So, I'm just going to take a moment to shill my co-host and guest. Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Leave me alone.
I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. Let's see. Moonshock has his Twitch channel where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer, linked in the description. Let's see. Terry is on Minions on Della Hazed and One Ton Hammers nights. He's on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Six Sober streams. He's on Quippers United. Am I missing anything?
No, that's it.
No. All right. And anything you want to shill, Kyler?
Oh, I play games on Sunday afternoons. Right now, I'm
You
going.
play
through
Super
that-
Seducer?
No, sorry, Terry.
Ugh.
Right now, I'm working through Satisfactory, which is oddly soothing, even though I've spent most of my working career as a factory worker. Probably because there aren't other people involved in the productions.
Kyler is suffering from Moonshock syndrome where he won't play good games.
Whatever.
Well, I don't think Super Seducer will be complete unless you can fuck a tranny blue.
I don't think I don't think you can do that, but sadly there won't be a Super Seducer 4, so that is a series that will always remain incomplete.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I still think it needs to cover that to be a complete game.
Well, the problem is he had so much grief trying to launch the third game that he just decided, I'm never doing this again. So he's just like, there will be no more games from Richard LaRuina, which
Yeah.
is sad.
Well, as suggested in the poll at the opening, kind of wondering if we should move to 9 p.m. Eastern now that Lords of the Night is over. So
Yes,
we might try that next week.
I agree.
Well, we have to. Mike won the poll. His one vote was the deciding one, and he voted yes.
Yeah.
The poll
All right.
is God.
All glory to the poll. All right.
That poll
so,
represents us.
So we should be on at 9 p.m. Eastern next Friday. And we don't have guests lined up yet, but I'll find someone. I always do. All right. So we'll see you guys next week.
See you
Bye,
later.
guys.
Bye. Send help.
Oh boy. Send help.